Today on MTG Unpacked, we're taking a look at the new Brothers War Commander deck, Mishra's Burnished Banner. And the commander here is Mishra Eminent One, and this includes a collector booster sample pack plus 2 legendary traditional foils. So let's see, a Malevolent Menagerie of Machines. So this guy copies cards and sacrifices artifacts. So you get a 100 card deck with 10 new cards. Deck box, 10 double-sided tokens, traditional foil, display commander, life wheel, strategy, insert, and reference card. Okay, so let's get into this one and see what we got here. So Urza and Mishra. And again, punch out cards on here. There we go. These go for about $45 US. For each of these decks, and the deck box has some issues apparently. Okay, so we've got a divider here, we've got the life wheel counting up to 40, alright, and let's see what else we've got here. We've got the deck, and squirreled away in the back, the collector booster sampler. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Okay, so let's see the poster here. So this one, Mishra's Burnished Banner, this tells you a bit about playing the deck. So getting advantage out of your artifacts. And we have Rules of Commander. And here is Mishra. And on the other side, we've got some more lore about Mishra Eminent One. Alright, so one of the protagonists in the Brothers War, along with Urza. Okay, collector booster sampler, let's see what we got here. So these just have a couple of cards in each one. I think the previous one we had an artifact and a creature card. So we'll see if that pattern holds true here. So we've got an add card, okay, and nope, nothing there. Black Blade Reforged, so a nice artifact equipment, along with a foil pristine talisman. Nice. Okay, so here is the deck proper, Mishra Eminent One. See if I can open this any easier than the last one. Look at that. Very simple, straightforward. Not sure what the deal was in the previous video. Okay, so we're going to dig through for the display commander. So this is thicker card stock. We've got Mishra Eminent One, still with the foiling. You'll notice how thick that is. You cannot put this in your deck. It's meant for purely display purposes. Okay, so let's take a look at the deck itself. So we've got Mishra Eminent One, legendary creature, human artificer, 5/4/4/5. It's a mythic. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of target non-creature artifact you control, except its name is Mishra's War Form, and it's a 4/4 construct artifact creature in addition to its other types. It gains haste until end of turn, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. I like the old school borders on these. We've got Ashnod the Uncaring, legendary creature, human artificer, 1/4/4/5. Another mythic with Death Touch. Whenever you activate an ability of an artifact or creature that isn't a mana ability, if one or more permanents was sacrificed to activate it, you may copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Okay, so we're copying stuff now. That's the major difference with this deck. You didn't see so much of that in the other one. We've got Fact or Fiction, instant for 4. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library and opponent separates them into 2 piles. Put one pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Thirst for Knowledge, instant for 3, draw 3 cards and discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. We've got a Braid, instant for 2, choose one that deals 3 damage to target creature or destroy target artifact. That's good against the other deck actually, but you could also use it on your own cards. We have Expressive Iteration, sorcery for 2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, put one of them on the bottom of your library and exile one of them. You may play the exiled card this turn. Followed by Oni Cult Anvil, artifact for 2. Whenever one or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Taps second artifact, it deals 1 damage to each opponent, you gain 1 life. And Dreamstone Hedron, artifact for 6, tap for 3 colorless, and for 3 taps, sack it, draw 3 cards. Felwar Stone, artifact for 2, tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. And Hedron Archive, artifact for 4, tap for 2 colorless, and for 2 taps, sack it, draw 2 cards. Ichor Wellspring, artifact for 2, when it enters battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Mind Stone, artifact for 2, tap for colorless, for 1 tap, sack it, draw a card. Okay, sensing a theme here, lots of card draw. Servo Schematic, artifact for 2, when it enters battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token. And Soul Ring, in pretty much every commander deck these days, artifact for 1, tap for 2 colorless. Thran Dynamo, artifact for 4, tap for 3 colorless. Buried Ruin, tap for colorless, for 2 tap, sack it, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. And Crumbling Necropolis, it's a land, enters battlefield tapped, tap for blue, black, or red. We've got Demir Aqueduct, it enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand, tap for blue and black. And Is It Boilerworks, enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand, tap for blue and red. And Myriad Landscape, enters battlefield tapped, tap for colorless, for 2 tap, sack it, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards that share a land type, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And Rakdos Carnarium, it's a land, enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, return a land you control to its owner's hand, tap for black and red. And Reliquary Tower, you have no maximum hand size, tap for colorless. And Mnemonic Sphere, artifact for 2, for 1 and a blue, sack it, draw 2 cards, has channel for a blue, and discard it, draw a card. Thoughtcast, sorcery for 5, affinity for artifacts, and draw 2 cards. Okay. Feed the Swarm, sorcery for 2, destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls, you lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Execution is capture artifact for a single black, for 1 and a black, tap, sack it, destroy target non-black creature. And Faithless Looting, sorcery for a single red, draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. You can flashback for 2 and a red. Arcane Signet, artifact for 2, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. So that one and the Soul Ring were in the other deck as well. Commander's Sphere, artifact for 3, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. And if you sack it, draw a card. Demir's Signet, artifact for 2, for 1 tap, you get to add blue and black. Glint Raker, creature Drake, 1/3 for 4 with flying. It gets plus X, plus 0, where X is the highest mana value among artifacts you control. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may reveal that many cards from the top of your library, put an artifact card revealed this way into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. We got, what is this? Terracier's Devastation, sorcery for X, 2 and 2 black. You lose X life and create X tapped Power Stone tokens. Then all creatures get -1 until end of turn for each artifact you control. Blast Furnace Hellkite, creature dragon, 5/5 for 9, artifact offering, and flying double strike. Creatures attacking your opponents have double strike. And Farid, Enterprising Salvager, legendary creature, human soldier, 3/3 for 3. Whenever a non-token artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, create a colorless artifact token named Scrap. For 1 and red, sack an artifact, choose 1, put a +1/+1 counter on it, gains menace until end of turn, goad target creature, or discard a card, then draw a card. Machine God's Effigy, artifact for 4, you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it's an artifact and it has tap to add blue mana. Tap for blue. And Scavenged Brawler, artifact creature, construct 4/4 for 6 with flying, vigilance, trample, and lifelink For 5, exile it from your graveyard. Choose target creature, put 4+1/+1 counters, a flying counter, a vigilance counter, a trample counter, and a lifelink counter on that creature. Activate only as a sorcery. And I like how they have the little headstone icon in the corner representing the graveyard synergy there. Smelting Vat, artifact for 4. For 1, tap, sack another artifact. Reveal the top 8 cards of your library. Put up to 2 non-creature artifact cards with total mana value less than or equal to the sacrifice artifact's mana value from among them onto the battlefield and rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. We've got Wondrous Crucible, artifact for 7. Permanents you control have Ward 2, and at the beginning of your end step, mill 2 cards. Then exile a non-land card at random from your graveyard, copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. And Muzio, Visionary Architect, legendary creature, human artificer. It's a mythic. 1/3 for 3, for 3 and a blue, tap. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the highest mana value among artifacts you control. You may put an artifact card from among them onto the battlefield, put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. And Geth, Lord of the Vault, so another mythic. Legendary creature, Phyrexian zombie, 5/5 for 6, has Intimidate. And for X and a black, put target artifact or creature card with mana value X from a permanent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control tapped. Then that player mills X cards. Herald of Anguish, another mythic. Creature demon, 5/5 for 7 with Improvise and flying at the beginning of your end step. Each opponent discards a card, and for 1 and a black, sack an artifact. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. We've got Joyra, Weatherlight Captain, legendary creature, human artificer, another mythic. 3/3 for 4. Whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. And Silas Wren, Seeker Adept, legendary artifact creature, human, another mythic. 2/2 for 3 with Death Touch. Whenever Silas Wren deals combat damage to a player, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. You can also partner with another commander here. Another mythic, Lithoform Engine, legendary artifact for 4. For 2, tap, copy target activated or triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. For 3, tap, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. Or for 4, tap, copy target permanent spell you control. And Emry, Lurker of the Lock, legendary creature, Merfolk Wizard, 1/2 for 3. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each artifact you control, and when it enters the battlefield, mill 4 cards. Tap, choose target artifact card in your graveyard. You may cast that card this turn. And Master Transmuter, artifact creature, human artificer, 1/2 for 4. For a blue, tap, return artifact you control to its owner's hand. You get to put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. And Padim, Console of Innovation, legendary creature, Vidalcan Artificer, 1/4 for 4. Artifacts you control have hexproof, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you control the artifact with the highest mana value or tied for the highest mana value, draw a card. And Workshop Elders, creature, human artificer, 4/4 for 7. Artifact creatures you control have flying at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may have target non-creature artifact you control become a 0/0 artifact creature. If you do, put 4+1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so that is half the deck roughly. And then the other half here, let's cut the basic lands like so. And we will continue. We have Fane the Broker, legendary creature, human warlock, 3/3 for 3. Tap, sack a creature, put 2+1/+1 counters on target creature. Tap, remove a counter from a creature you control. You get to create a treasure token, or tap, sack an artifact, create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. For 3 and a black, untap Fane the Broker. And Audacious Reshapers, creature, human artificer, 3/3 for 3. Tap, sack an artifact, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact card. Put it onto the battlefield and rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. It deals damage to you equal to the number of cards revealed this way. Blasphemous Act, there's a mouthful. Sorcery for 9. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and it deals 13 damage to each creature. That is craziness. Chaos Warp, instant for 3. The owner of target permanent shuffles it into their library, then reveals the top card of their library. If it's a permanent card, they put it onto the battlefield. Cursed Mirror, artifact for 3, tap for red. As it enters the battlefield, you may have it become a copy of any creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it has haste. We've got Hellkite Igniter Creature Dragon, 5/5 for 7 with flying and haste for 1 and a red. It gets plus X plus 0 until end of turn, where X is the number of artifacts you control. Slowbad Goblin Tinkerer, nice. Legendary creature Goblin Artificer 1/2 for 2. Second artifact, target artifact gains indestructible until end of turn. Okay. Bedevil, instant for 3, destroy target artifact creature or planeswalker. And Broodaclad, Telcor Engineer, creature, artifact creature, Phyrexian Artificer. We got a 4/4 for 6. It's actually legendary, I missed that bit. Creature tokens you control have haste, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a 2/1 blue Phyrexian Mirror artifact creature token. Then you may choose a token you control. If you do, each other token you control becomes a copy of that token. Idol of Oblivion, artifact for 2, tap, draw a card. Activate only if you created a token this turn. And for 8, tap, sack it. Create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi creature token. We'll have to keep an eye out for those. Metalwork Colossus, artifact creature construct, 10/10 for 11. The spell costs X less to cast, where X is the total mana value of non-creature artifacts you control. Sack 2 artifacts, you get to return it from your graveyard to your hand. And Mirrorworks, artifact for 5. Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. Oblivion Stone, artifact for 3. For 4, tap, put a fate counter on target permanent. For 5, tap, sack it, destroy each non-land permanent without a fate counter on it. Then remove all fate counters from all permanents. Spine of Ishsar, artifact for 7. So when it enters the battlefield, destroy target permanent, and when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return it to its owner's hand. We got a Strionic Resonator, artifact for 2, tap, copy target triggered ability you control. You may choose new targets for the copy. And Trading Post, artifact for 4. For 1, tap, discard a card, you gain 4 life, or you can pay that same cost and pay 1 life. Create a 0/1 white goat creature token. I can see where this is going. For 1, tap, sack a creature, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand, or for 1, tap, sack an artifact, draw a card. So you can basically just cycle through that until you get what you need. We got Traxos Scourge of Krug, legendary artifact creature construct, 7/7 for 4. Has trample when it enters battlefield tapped, doesn't untap during your untap step, and whenever you cast a historic spell, untap Traxos. And we've got some lands here. Darkwater Catacombs for 1, tap, add blue and black. Exotic Orchard, land, tap to add 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Shadowblood Ridge, 1, tap, add black and red. Smoldering Marsh. We've got a Swamp Mountain, tap for black or red. Enters battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. And Temple of Deceit enters battlefield tapped. Enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for blue or black. Temple of Epiphany enters tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for blue or red. And Temple of Malice enters battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, scry 1, tap for black or red. And Mycosynth Wellspring, artifact for 2. So when it enters battlefield or is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Nihil Spellbomb, artifact for 1, tap, sack it, exile target player's graveyard. And when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you may pay it black. If you do, draw a card. We've got a Rakdos Signet, artifact for 2. For 1, tap, add black and red. Prophetic Prism, artifact for 2. When it enters battlefield, draw a card. For 1, tap, add 1 mana of any color. Wayfarer's Bauble, artifact for 1. For 2, tap, sack it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. And Ash Barrens, tap for colorless and it has basic land cycling for 1. We've got Command Tower, another land. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. And Dross Forge Bridge enters battlefield tapped, has Indestructible. Tap for black or red. Great Furnace, tap for red. Mistvault Bridge enters tapped, Indestructible, tap for blue or black. And Path of Ancestry enters battlefield tapped. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1. And Seat of the Synod, artifact land, tap for blue. Silver Bluff Bridge enters battlefield tapped, has Indestructible, tap for blue or red. And Terramorphic Expanse, another land. Tap, sack it, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto battlefield, tap, then shuffle. And Vault of Whispers, artifact land, tap for black. Okay, so let's take a look at the basics here. So we're just going to have a couple here, not too many. So we've got swamps, like what they did with the artwork here. 4 of those. And then islands, we've just got 4, 5 of those. And then mountains, 4 of those. Okay, and now for the tokens. I'm looking forward to seeing that Eldrazi. We've got a 1/1 Servo with a 10/10 Eldrazi. There he is. Awesome. So Servo and a Power Stone on the other side. Mishra's War Form. We saw that one early on. And an Inkling. We've got a copy token. Another Inkling. Another copy token. And a Power Stone. We got Scrap token artifact with a Phyrexian Mirror on the other side. So some more Scrap and a Power Stone. Here's the 0/1 Goat. Love that. And a Construct. We've got another 1/1 Construct with a Phyrexian Mirror, copy token, and a Power Stone. Parts of the turn and popular Magic formats. Okay. So this one, I was going to say with artifacts, how could it be very different from the other one? But like we saw early on, a lot of copying things and sacrificing artifacts. So a little bit different than the other one. Let me know in the comments what you think. Which one do you think you'd pick up, if any? Hope everyone's staying safe and healthy out there. Thanks for watching and have a great day.